Good afternoon, TPOL young adults and TPOL family. I hope everyone had a good Thursday. We miss all of you guys. I cannot wait to be back in church with y'all. So today I'm going to come to you and talk about the relief of relying on God. And I'm going to come to you out of 2 Chronicles 13. And I'm going to talk to you about a man named Abijah. And I had never heard of this man named Abijah before. Well, So I said, I'm sure I've heard of him, but he's not really mentioned in the Bible except in this one chapter, 2 Chronicles 13. And so I kind of started researching, and I said, well, let me see if this man is anywhere else in the Bible. And well, he ended up being in a few verses in about 8 verses in 1 Kings. So I was like, wow, this man Abijah, so today what I'm reading about is pretty much his life. So let's talk about what it means to rely on God. Well, when I rely on God, I do things his way. When I rely on God, I submit to his will fully. And in chapter 13 of 2 Chronicles, we see that Abijah and his army stood their ground. Okay, well, first we have Jereboam. He was the king of Israel, and Abijah was the king of Judah. And Jeroboam had this plan, and he was going to surround Judah with his army. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to do a sneak attack. Well, Abijah's army was outnumbered 2-1 compared to Jeroboam's army. And Abijah and his army stood their ground on one claim, that God is with us at our head. So no matter what comes our way, no matter what, we're going to rely on God. And because they relied on the Lord, they ended up that they won and they prevailed. The Hebrew word translated rely in verse 18 is sha'an, and it literally means to lean on. And this is the same word that's used in Proverbs 3:5 when it means do not lean on your own understanding. So in another way, we could say this could be, don't try to figure out everything on your own, because when you try to figure out everything you're on your own, you pretty much tell God, nope, I got it. I don't need you. I got it. So Jeroboam had a good plan. He was going to do it himself. I got it. We can do this. We're going to beat these people. We're going to beat Abijah's army. We don't need them. We're going to demolish them. We're going to wipe them off the face of the earth. Well, so he set up an ambush to attack them from behind, but he also had more mighty warriors than Abijah, and he thought he was better than Abijah, and he thought he could do everything with Abijah. But Abijah had one advantage. He had God on his side, because no matter what, God, we're going to rely on you. In this time, we're going to rely on you. When I'm surrounded, I'm going to rely on you. So, and Abijah relied on God and acknowledged God in all his ways. So, to me, this story really hit home with me because, wow, so many times in my life, I've tried to do it on my own, and I've tried to do it my way, when I really should have relied on God from the get-go. And I should have said, God, you know what? I give it to you. I rely on you, because you're going to provide every need. You're going to give me everything. You're going to give me the strength. You're going to give me the wisdom. You're going to help me to propel myself forward. And when we rely on God, we receive relief from the burden of figuring out what's going to happen in the future. Wow. So when I put my trust in God and I rely on him, I take my future, my way, the burden of how I would do it off my shoulders, and I place that burden on God. Because now I say, God, you know what? I'm giving my burden to you. I'm going to let you make the way. I'm going to let you bring me through valleys. God, I'm going to let you walk me through places where I feel like I'm surrounded. And guess what? Relying on God, man, You can't do wrong when you rely on God. And Abijah in 2 Chronicles 13 relied on God, and they ended up prevailing. So God, in this season, I'm going to rely on you. Whether I'm surrounded, whether I'm in a dilemma, whether I don't know what to do, I'm going to rely on you, and I'm going to know that your way is the best way. And I'm going to trust that the path that you've set before me is 100% your will, because I'm taking this burden of my future and I'm giving it to you. So I want to encourage you to rely on God. Take the burden off from your future and give it to God. You know what? His will is the best will. I always say that. God's will is the best will. Rely on him. Know that even if you're surrounded 2-1, that you can prevail. And that is the relief of relying on God. I hope you guys had a great Thursday. We love you guys. We miss you guys. If you need us, we're here.